What is up, guys? It's InChain Disc Golf. Zachary Taylor here, doing some commentary on some Gatekeeper Media production coverage at the Great Lakes Open Toboggan course. Today's feature card is Michael Johansen, Paul Ulibarri, Drew Gibson, and Chris Clemons. This is a 2021 coverage, and I was able to play this course this year when I went to the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships. So I thought this would be a good course to do some commentary on. Hole 1, 477 feet, par 3. Michael Johansen on the tee. Michael, I'm assuming, throwing that patented Comet. Nice little layup down to the bottom of the hill. Your backhand dominant players are going to look for that turnover, and your forehand players are looking for that nice pushing hyzer. Paul Ulibarri opting in for the fairway. If this comes out at all, it could push that back line. Great shot. Drew Gibson looking like he's throwing a buzz. That was the shot of choice for myself, except for I didn't throw it nearly that good. And that may be OB. That is OB. It's very easy to push that wide left side. Very easy. Chris with that left hand, he'll be looking for that pushing hyzer. You really don't want to get the disc flat at all because it tends to pull really wide left. And that's going to be an inside circle putt. Great shot by Chris. Michael with his banger GT approach. Gonna hit the koozie there and have himself a tap in par. Drew looking to save 3. That'll be just a layup. Tapping in his 4. Paul gonna hopefully clean up his 3 there. And Chris with the only birdie on the card. I was not able to play this basket on an elevated basket. The basket was just in its normal position, closer to the ground. Ooh, Paul actually with a 16-17 footer there. A little bit of a tester. Michael with his easy 3. Hole 2, 680 feet, par 4, up the hill. This will be also going to an elevated basket. You kind of want to end about where the camera is now for these pros with a little bit longer arms. But very, very tough 3. Chris going for that turnover. That should end about center. That'll be fine for him. He'll be able to throw that left-handed hyzer up towards the top of the hill. Michael with the flat layup. That's exactly what I threw. Try to get over to that left side where it's flat, and then just have yourself a nice toss to the top of the hill. Get your 4. Paul with a distance driver in hand, I'm assuming a nuke. So give it a little bit of turn. Looks like too much turn. See if that fights back. Oh, he's actually going to get to the fairway. Should have no issue getting up and down for his 4 there. Drew with the distance driver in hand also. Drew trying to get that big Anheuser. If that stalls and flexes, he's going to love it. Ooh. Unfortunately, that's not the best spot to be at. Those shrubs may not look too crazy, but they are very dense. Hard to get any kind of run out. And the camera doesn't really do it justice. This is 100% purely uphill. It's a very hard shot. That's why I kind of went to where Michael is a little bit, maybe even a little bit more center, just so I could have as much flat ground as possible to make that third shot even easier. I was fortunate enough to par this hole every round during UNCDGC. Nice, Chris going with that forehand. Like I said, guys, this is a very hard three. If you're not up where Drew's at, you really don't have a chance to even get up there. And even Drew's going to have a nice 60-footer or so from there. Paul with his flex forehand, stalling, looking really good, and that was a great shot. He'll be tapping in his 4. Michael with the banger GT. As you can tell, it's a little bit rainy out there at the moment. That extra groove track on those banger GTs feel pretty good. Drew gonna give it a nice layup there. Hopefully that was not him trying to make that. Drew with his par putt. Par for this field probably doesn't feel great, but not bogeying this hole is kind of the name of the game.
I started playing disc golf with my family when I was 8 years old. When I was 16, I got my first job as a cook at a bowling alley, and that's when I made my first batch of beef jerky. As I got better at throwing, I also got better at making beef jerky. Everyone told me they loved my jerky. After 15 years of making my beef jerky as a hobby, I decided to make it available to everyone. Double G Craft Jerky. Give it a try. You're gonna love it.
Hole 3, par 4, 915 feet. The OB when I played it was a little bit tighter than that, but still a very tough course, tough hole. The decline that you're throwing off the hand is very absurd, so you really want to be throwing the disc down and not out. Chris looking like he's not going to be too happy with that. It could be turning. It's going to push that OB side, and it's going to stay OB, unfortunately. This is a hole where they had plenty of spotters, and we still had people on my card losing disc, so you do not want to be right on this hole. That was a great kick by Johansen's disc there, other than the fact that it flew out of bounds. Paul trying to keep his disc dry. He's really going to get it downhill, really going to flip it. And you're going to be happy with that shot. That's still going to leave you about 400 to the basket, I believe. Maybe 420, 430 uphill. Drew going with the buzz. Not too surprising. The cameraman on the right at the entrance of the hole is a little terrifying. I had my mishap with the cameraman on hole 1. But you're gonna get into a nice little spot. Maybe won't like his footing there, but Michael's gonna flip up. He needs to carry that OB. He needs to get over. Ooh. Actually, that may not be OB for them, but that was OB for us. Chris having to hop that OB line and get a shot off. They give a nice high flip up. Unfortunately, he's going to lose some speed there, so it's going to stall. Leave him a little short, but he's going to look to maybe try to cash that circle 3 putt there.
Sucks playing there.
Paul with his approach, pushing hyzer, slight flip up. That's going to get a little too straight. He's not going to love that, but that is going to give him that 30-foot look. And he's pretty good for those. Drew going buzz again. This year, Anthony Brillo decided to throw a Luna on this hole. So, definitely possible for these lower speed discs to be effective. Nice pushing hyzer. He's going to leave it a little short. Maybe should have disced up a bit, but a 35-footer. Michael giving that a little bid. He knew it was off, but it was right on line. He'll be getting his 5, I believe. Chris also going to be taking this 5. Drew putting for 3. A little straddle. Jump putt. Paul at about 29 feet. Ooh, lead a little high. This rain's going to definitely make it a harder bid. Just a little upset with that, unfortunately. But people miss those. Drew going to get his par there. I believe still putting with his Penrose EV7s.
Want some candy?
Is that what was up?
Drew finding a little bit of trash on the course. That's funny. Paul gonna take his time, get his disc nice and dry. Unlike myself, I do that a little too often.
Yeah, it's sticky.
Chris tapping in his shot there. Guys, you let me know, because I always put my umbrella down because I feel like maybe it aids in some kind of way. Is it legal to hold an umbrella? Hole 4, par 4, 580 feet. This is a hole that I played very well. I landed around these trees every single time, right where the camera's at now, and proceeded to butcher the hole every single time. So a very, very hard approach. A lot of players are looking for like these little forehand rollers, or really just trying to play into the ground and skip up. You're going to have that slope on the back of the green, so it's going to be a little terrifying. Paul looking for that high over the tree. He's still going to be fine where he's at there. But that is the normal shot people take. Drew looking like he has a Wraith in hand, I believe. Really going to get that high, flip it up, get over that tree, pushing. That's going to crash in. It's going to leave you behind anywhere in those trees. You're going to like that. So we'll do a bit of a form check here. Drew with a little bit of forward motion with the disc to add that timing. Nice long stride. Reaches back as soon as he stretches out the foot. And nice little whip action there. Following through his shot. A little bit of outside foot action there. That's how I rotate. And yeah, it's pretty good form, guys. Chris going lefty. Looking for that turnover. Definitely a... If you get over to this left side, it's perfectly fine. Which I believe is kind of what Paul was trying to go for. with a little slight flip up, pushing these and try to be early to that tree, get over that left side I was talking about, and that's perfectly fine. You can actually still attack the green there. It just makes the ceiling a little bit harder. He's going to go a faster disc to really guarantee he gets that ground play. And that's going to give him a just outside circle putt. This is the shot I kept playing very poorly. Paul really getting over on it, which is, oh, he's going to hit that. It's going to leave him just outside circle at around 47 feet. This guy going lefty, very stable disc. Going to hit that ground, and it's going to push to that backside on hole 5's fairway almost, but edge of circle. Drew going to try to get that ground play. And not as much as he would have hoped, but that is towards circle's edge. Paul going to try to save his birdie here with a nice 50-footer. Ooh, very close. Hits top of the basket. He's going to hit a roll, which unfortunately during doubles I had that happen, and the cameramen are looking so far down the hill. That's going to be unfortunate. Michael not making that putt. Drew jump putting again. It's going to also go down the hill. That's going to be a roll away. Chris, can anybody get the birdie? Ooh, and he's going to flop. It'll be okay. Good. Drew with a tough putt here. And that's going to catch those right side chains and kick out. Paul tapping in his par there. Definitely a putt you want to make after trying to bid those birdies and have them go far out, which was my issue on the second day. I tried to get a little bit more aggressive. The hole seemed a lot more birdieable, which they are, but as you can tell, some of these pros, they're already having some trouble. So two of our feature cards are 1 over and 2 are even. So Drew tapping in his putt there with Buzz, I believe. Hole 5, par 3, 480 feet. This hole I proceeded to not hit the gap until the last day, and then I parked it. I was sitting right about that bush to the left of the basket, and I had a guy hit a really nice putt, and then I missed the entire basket on my putt and tapped in my par. Paul with a flip up. I'm assuming this is like a mantis. He likes that disc a lot. He's going to hit that last tree, just kind of doing that, but that's only about 40 feet where he is, so that's definitely a makeable putt. Chris going forehand. Chris, beautiful flip up there. It's going to get a little right. It's going to finish. He's going to hit that ground. It's going to kick him into a great spot. Right on circle's edge. The hole's really asking once you get down to the end for it to play a little bit more left. So that's why you see a lot of these players trying to do that. Mike can go with a smooth flip up. It's going to push left. And the other Ulibarri is. Drew looking like he's got that buzz in hand again, or a buzz of sorts. Probably a more flippy one. Yes, definitely a more flippy buzz. He's going to get a little bit of a slip. He got a little bit of a kick. It's going to hope he gets all the way through. He's actually going to be the right where Paul Ulibarri in the mark, so not going to be the worst. Looking for a horseshoe putt here of sorts. Great bid by him there. It is going to sit and not push towards that OB in the back. Paul going to have a little bit more of a straight on putt, sitting at around 40 feet. Ooh, made that one. He knew out the hands. That's a nice little run in there. That's about the same kind of putt that made me get a little shaky in my pants, you know what I mean? So, very upsetting. But it does happen. But that was a great putt by Ulibarri there. Very cool. Michael, a little spinny putt. He made it. He also knew he made it. Shout out again, guys, to Gatekeeper Media Unplugged for allowing us to use this coverage. The original video will be down in the description. Clemons tapping in that birdie.
Yeah, it was gone.
And Drew just jamming in his par there. Tougher of the 4 putts, probably. He's going to be a little happy with that par with how the disc kind of got over to the left. Hole 6, par 4, 519 feet. You're going to be throwing up this hill, kind of trying to fade to the right, but you also kind of want it to fade back if you're throwing that backhand. Just to kind of get around this area so that your next approach ends up being a little bit easier. You do have that downslope on the back of the green, so it's going to be a semi-tough putt and a bit of a valley that you have to cross coming to the basket. Pushing forehand is kind of your best bet if you just want to throw in another forehand. We do know some players that are throwing rollers and kind of getting around and down the hill, so almost having putts sometimes. Probably going to see that with this shot here. That's a nice little flex from Clemons. He's going to get to that mouth of the gap almost. He's going to have a nice little patent pending backhand there or another left-handed forehand. Michael going to hit that backhand for us. A little wide, yes. Ooh, he's going to hit that tree, unfortunately.
That's going to be fun.
Drew looking like he's grabbed a putter, which would be or a mid, possibly. It's an end of a disc, obviously. It's also a little wide, but he's a putter, so we're going to hope that gets somewhere. Okay. Probably not somewhere he's going to enjoy trying to get the birdie from, but getting a beautiful shot there by Michael Johansen. Forehand still kind of open. He's just going to give it the angle, let it flex. That may get him down to the bottom. Yes, it does. So, shouldn't have a problem getting up and down from 4 there. Oh, the forehand, he's not going to like that. That push actually may have helped him a bit.
My back foot slipped out.
As you can hear, his back foot slipped out. Michael with that banger again. Little backhand. It's going to hold that angle. That should be a beautiful shot. And yes, it is going to be a beautiful save there. Well, backhand, patent pending. Backhand from... Nice. From Chris Clemons there. This is actually one of 2 holes that I had to throw a left-handed shot. I was early left and had to throw one. And then I went deep in the basket and missed my putt, unfortunately. Paul going to give that a bit of a bit. It was a very, very tall basket from down there. We're going to see a lot of pars, which is nothing wrong with that. A birdie from Clemons. And off the hole 7.
The Firebird has changed my life. I think that without the commitment shown to me from Innova to make this disc in 2015, I would never have made the leap to take my game to a level where I can call myself a US champion, a top 10 player in the world, In my mind, the Firebird is the greatest disc ever made.
Hole 7, par 4, 667 feet. You're looking to throw and try to land right around this flat area here, and then have yourself a nice little backhand putter, backhand mid to the basket. For myself, I decided to butcher every approach of the week, so I leaked it a little bit left and missed my 35-footer. Chris with a nice flip-up turnover. We're going to love that. And it's also going to add that stability at the end with that flip-up. He's behind this tree, so he's going to have a nice, tricky approach there, but it'll be okay. There is a road deep right of the fairway there. You could technically get to the road if you throw a really bad shot.
Right here. Thank you, man.
Paul looking like he's throwing a force, I believe. Or that might be that same nuke. That's going to be a little bit too left, I believe, unless it's already there. It's already there, so we're good. He's going to love that. Do a bit of a form check here on Ulibarri. We're going to get that arm in the pocket, prime the wrist. Nice little hop, long reach on the last, and really focusing on that rotation. So, beautiful shot there. Anybody looking to me for any form work, I also do that online, and I do it in person if you're local. So just leave me a comment, and I can get in contact with you. Michael, a little bit too much turn there. Looked like it was slightly release. Definitely a flippy disc. Drew throwing a buzz. And it's going to drift. It's going to go right. He's actually not going to be too upset with that. He's going to look at that same shot on the way back. Michael, the king of scrambles. That is a beautiful shot. That's again going to give him his real chance at par. Chris gripping that a little bit too much. Going to kick over to that right side. I do not believe that was OB for them this day, but he'll be getting his par most likely. Drew having to throw that flip up with that slightly more stable buzz. And it's going to look for like a 20-foot putt. Beautiful shot. Paul, cap wrap in hand, I'm assuming. Don't think that's enough turn.
You can play.
But that's fine. Okay, cool. It's going to leave him with that 15-footer. He'll be able to make that and put himself around 2 down.
Why did I give you a No, I told him.
Michael getting right in the circle with his approach. Chris can probably give us a little soft bid. Ooh, very close. I'm taking this par. So it looks like a birdie from Paul Ulibarri and maybe Drew Gibson.
Yeah,
And it stays in. We'll take that. That puts Drew back at 1 over. I believe the first day I shot 2 over with slightly more OB than they're having to deal with at the moment. One of my better rounds of my life. And Michael saving his par there. Very, very good. Hole 8, par 4, 500 feet. It might seem a bit short, but you're having to get out this gap, kind of get up to right here somewhere, and then you'll be throwing that approach into the basket. Very hard shot. I was actually opting to just get out the gap, lay up, and then throw a large anhyzer about 360 feet up the hill, and it felt really good. Paul being a little bit wider than he would have liked, I believe.
Oh no.
But it's definitely a tough shot to get out the gap and have an 8 push left. Clemons in the background trying to stretch out his hamstrings there for the shot, probably. That's going to be a bit too high. But for Drew, probably not an impossible place to save his birdie, actually. Because it's only about 380, maybe 400 off the tee. I mean, to the basket. Chris really trying to get it left. It's going to be high. It's still going to be in that tall grass. Again, it is very, very hard to get pushing left enough to be in a great spot. During the doubles event prior to USA GGC, we did happen to get left enough and far enough that we could actually see the basket. So it's a very cool shot. And Michael giving that little bit of an air bounce there and putting himself in a good position. As you can tell, if you have that Anheuser shot, it's very, very possible to still get up and down for your birdie. Probably one of the easier holes in the course after you get to the gap. So not too much of a problem for him there. All having to go a bit higher. Gonna make sure you have that understability because he's having to go so nose up that it's actually a problem. So actually, this is the second hole I had to throw a lefty shot on. I was in the woods, kind of right of where Chris is now. On my second shot, I threw a very poor shot, trying to go for that Anheuser, grip locked it, and had to throw a lefty out to save my par. One of my highlights of the week. Michael not really giving that enough height to really get under the basket, but he'll have that 40-footer to try to make for his birdie. Paul leaking that a little bit right. Definitely had the commitment. Chris cutting that tree down. Michael with that 40-footer looking for his birdie from the best drive on the card. Can he do it? And he does. That's a beautiful birdie, putting him to one down. Let's get a nice little gatekeeper rewind here. Beautiful putt there by Michael. Drew tapping in his birdie after that beautiful second shot. Paul Ulibarri tapping in that shot there. Chris making his putt. Gonna be 2 birdies, 2 pars. They're not gonna be too upset with that. Heading off to the last hole of the front 9, hole 9, 462 feet, par 3. This was not a hole that I had the ability to play, unfortunately. I believe they were throwing down the hill straight, which is now clear. Looking like a bit large, pushing hyzer. Try to let the disc really dive after it pushes left. A little bit more left than he would like. Going to be a hard birdie there, but looking like he's only about 42 feet. I believe now this hole you're throwing down and it pushes down to the right.
Find out where it ends up. Yep.
Hitting a tree there going to give him a putt right outside circle.
Oh, yay.
Paul Ulibarri going to try to follow that Michael Johansen line. Looks like he threw it a bit higher, a bit wider. If it sneaks through, it might be a great shot.
Right. Hey.
No idea where that landed. Just obviously having to go for that forehand. Looking a bit left, I believe. No, it's going to be perfect. And we see Paul Ulibarri shot there, so beautiful shot. Drew going to try to get out and save his par. Maybe even give it a bid. That'd be a nice thing for him there. And remember, guys, we'll be doing the back 9 of this later tonight. If you're seeing this, this is October 6th. Michael Johansen missing that putt there. But stay tuned Feel free to hit the subscribe button, guys. We appreciate it. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. So if you enjoy this content, thank you so much. And we're going to finish watching these guys tap out. Oh, Ulibarri missing his birdie there. See if Chris can't get it. Chris is going to sink that birdie in there first, guys. And yeah. Hope you guys enjoy the content. And hope you guys have a great day. Later.
Bag up there, basically. Leave.